This is Brad Clayton with the Puzzle Duck Golf Thought of the Month, February 2022. Hope everyone is doing well. Look forward to a lot of golf coming up this spring. Literally right around the corner, you can almost hear the Masters music playing. I'm going to talk to you very quickly about the role of your wrist. I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to tell you a cause and effect and how personally Brad Clayton and Puzzle Duck Golf thinks. Number one, the wrists only go up and down. This way. Don't like to see this or this. Like to have it nice and square. That being said, it's kind of fun to understand what the wrist does to the club face. My rudimentary golf club here. If your wrist cups, you are adding loft to the club face. If it bows, it is de-lofting the club face. If it stays square, it's going to stay square to what you have started with. So this is all within a couple of degrees, and your body motion and how you actually rotate through the golf ball and transfer your weight influences how your wrists go back into impact. So when you set up, impact again, you start with square position here. Impact is when you're pushed into your forward leg, your hips have rotated, your shoulders are relatively square. And at this point, you would like to see your wrist nice and square. If it is bowed this way, you're going to de-loft the club and take trajectory off the golf ball. If your wrists are back this direction, you can see the shaft is going up. You're adding loft, and the golf club is going to add loft and make the golf ball go higher. So when you get set up, turn back and get into the golf ball, your wrist should be coming back to square. If you're de-lofting the club, some people like that. That's a nice knockdown shot. I love it. I don't want to see you get the wrist going this way though. How does that happen? That happens by simply not rotating your body. If your body stops, your arms are going to go forward and pass your body too soon, and they are going to break down in the elbow and or the wrist. That's going to add loft and bottom out the swing too soon, so you come up on the golf ball. Play around with this with wedges. Get around the green and just play around with your wrists going bowed, square, and flip or cup at impact, and see how that approaches or how that affects the trajectory of the golf ball. So if it goes through this way, if you strike the ball, you're going to probably hit a lot of thin and fat shots because your golf club's going to bottom out too soon. But you'll notice if you do strike it, it's going to float the ball up in the air a little higher. If you get into it nice and square, you should hit a nice crisp golf shot. If you go into it and the wrist is bowed, you're going to hit a lower trajectory shot. The club might tend to dig in the ground because you're taking the bounce off the golf club, but it will hit it a little bit more, maybe a little crisper if you do strike the ball first properly, but it's going to be on a lower trajectory. So play around with your wrist around the green first to kind of get a feel for what happens. If you go this way, you're scooping. You go nice and square, you're where we'd like to be. If you got it bowed, you're going to hit more of a little lower punch shot. Hope this gives you a little bit of an idea about what the wrist should be like, in my opinion, at impact, which is square. They only go this way, not this way. Like to see if you're going to make a mistake this way before you do that way. Any questions about this, email brad@puzzleduckgolf.com. Hope you're having a great winter. Looking forward to the spring and playing some more golf. Invest in some better equipment than this if you have the opportunity. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the March Puzzle Duck Golf Thought of the Month.